Is that gonna work? Yay, there we go. Boom! I don't know where all my energy has come from today. We haven't been to the gym today. Today is a rest day. I'm gotta get some of my administrative stuff done. We're just kind of playing catch up, basically. Not really catch up, get ahead. We're trying to get ahead. So I know we were planning on a bodybuilding vlog, which I was planning on doing today. Calves are extremely sore for no fucking reason. Don't even work my calves. I'm genetically gifted when it comes to my calves, yet they're sore. I'm just gonna do it tomorrow for you guys, and then we'll have it out next week for the bodybuilding one, because this is the last week, like tomorrow's the last day of my supersets. It's still a bodybuilding program, but the supersets just make it like, they make me be like, oh fuck, oh god, like, you know, like, yeah, whatever. Is it recording? Like, I can't tell, because normally there's like the sound things on. I hit a button, guys, that's what happened. Having a little Anna moment here, okay? Don't judge me. We all love Anna. If you don't know who Anna is, shame on you, okay? Shame on you. She's a Starbees girl. Today's video is going to be about what rep ranges to do, so let's get into it. My watch. What the actual fuck? How do you structure it and know which rep ranges to do? So most people will be in hypertrophy, which is usually like 3 to 4 sets of anywhere between 8 to 10 reps for every single exercise that they do. While hypertrophy is good for the average person, it's gonna be like a bad place to like stay in. But if your goal is to grow and build, you do have to expand outside of hypertrophy. We'll start off with the lower rep ranges, which is usually more of like a powerlifting style, lower reps. So you're anywhere between your 1 to your 6 rep ranges, or really I would keep them on their compound lifts anywhere between 1 to 3 or 4 with a heavier weight, 3 sets. Nothing crazy, it's just they're lifting more weight, so they're going to be exerting more energy within those lifts with lifting that heavier weight. So typically it's anywhere between 70 to like 85% of your 1 rep max, and you're doing that for to 3 reps for about 3 sets. So it's like a 3x3, sometimes a 5x3. It really just depends on exactly how much. If you're closer to the 85, it would be a 3x3. If you're closer to the 70%, it would be more like a 5x3. Sometimes I would do like a 5x5. Really, it just depends on how much it is, or rep ranges and set ranges. So 3 to 5 sets at 1 to 3 reps, give or take. And that's on a compound movement, like your deadlifts, your squats, and your bench. You're lifting heavier weight, pushing more weight, doing that. So those are your main lifts. Go into the accessory movements after that. Always do your compounds at the beginning. The only time you don't do a compound at the beginning of your lift is if you're really trying to focus on building one thing. Like if you're really trying to focus on doing your hamstrings, you're gonna do like RDLs or something like that, or like a good morning at the very first thing of your workout versus at towards the end or middle of your workout. You put all of your strength and exertion into those exercises. Then you can go into your compound lifts and do your compounds later. For the majority, it's individualized for every single person. Always going to be individualized for every single person. From like deadlifts, we would do supinated barbell rows. Yes, you're probably going to be doing, if you're like splitting it up, because personally, I like to go to the gym more than just 3 times a week, and I hate doing full body. Lately, I've been doing 3 upper, 3 lower, so I've split it into upper and lower body days. We're splitting that up, so mentally I'm okay. And going to the gym mentally every day for some people is what they need. Decrease the volume and spread it out over more days, but make sure you do give your body like adequate time to rest. What else? But even on the accessory movements, like that's when I do more like that 5 to 6 rep range, like the higher end of the reps for the accessory movements. So like your lat pull downs, your bicep curls, tricep extensions, all of those. You're lifting heavier weight still. You're still lifting heavier weight, but you're just doing less reps. So it's that 3 or 4 sets and then 4 to 6 reps, heavier weight. And you're gonna do that anywhere from 3 to 6 weeks. Most people will say that your program should be 6 weeks or longer, 6 weeks or longer. But that's when you get into those plateaus and you're not seeing the progress, because you can go anywhere from 3 to 6 because you want to have your body have time to adapt and change. use those to their advantage. So 3 weeks minimum. You can go 4 or 5, up to 6 weeks. But when you get to that 6th week, you're a little bit closer to plateauing. You don't want to go beyond 6 weeks with the same program because then you're going to plateau, and that's when all of their stuff. If you're just doing hypertrophy, progressive overload is going to really help you because you can do, you know, your 8 reps, work your way up till you get to 10, up the weight, start back over at 8, and then work your way up to 10. You can do that. That's not necessarily wrong, but you also want to make sure you incorporate new movements. Again, it's individualized to each person. When you start a program, you can do those heavier rep ranges. There are certain exercises that are better than other ones during those lower rep ranges, just because you can move more weight with them versus your other ones. If that makes any sense to you, I really hope it does. That's what I would start people off on. If they've been in hypertrophy, we're gonna start them at that lower rep range, lifting heavier weights. I found that I loved that. Like, I'm one of those people who is stuck in the powerlifting mindset. I am actually trying to compete in powerlifting this year. And so putting myself in the bodybuilding mindset, I'm like, holy fuck, this is hard. It's gonna be hard because you are not used to it. It is different. You're moving more weight and really need to be strict with your form. Form over everything. I will exaggerate that till the day I die. Is my form always perfect? No. Nobody's form is always perfect. But when you get to the point where you feel like your form is getting off and you cannot do another rep, it's okay to not meet those rep ranges, because your form is more important than the amount of weight you're moving or the amount of reps that you get. You don't want to hurt yourself. If you hurt yourself, then what are you going to do? You're not doing anything. And while I'm in these higher rep ranges with lower weights, that's something that I'm really focusing on, is focusing on more of that, so that way I can increase my output on my lifts, is always focusing on the form, because the better your form is, the better you're going to be able to perform. Once you move out of those rep ranges, the lower rep ranges, we would go back into that hypertrophy of 8 to 12. 8 to 10, you can do the 8 to 10, that's totally fine too. Again, 3 to 4 sets usually for those. You're just gonna do it at like a moderate weight. You can use your progressive overload. Depends on how long you stay in that particular phase. You have the low rep phase, and then the middle rep, which is your hypertrophy phase, and then you have the like superset, like bodybuilder style high rep range phase. Who the fuck is... Oh, it's an airplane. I'm so sorry. I was like, well, what the fuck is going on here? But with those middle rep ranges, you again, stay in that phase for about 3 to 6 weeks. And then the longer you're in it, just use more of the progressive overload to lift more weight. Moving out of that rep range is going to stimulate it's gonna like trigger and stimulate your muscles to grow again, because it's not used to that, so they grow and adapt and change to it. You can move to the higher rep ranges. You don't necessarily have to superset, but when you're doing such a low weight, like sometimes it can mind fuck you. Like it mind fucks me, bro, because like I'll be dumbbell pressing the 20s, but I'm doing it right after I bench 95 for like 8 to 10 reps. Barbell bench pressing 95 pounds for 10 reps, and then supersetting it with the 20-pound dumbbell, so 40 pounds in total for another 10 to 12 fucking reps. And let me tell you what, you are fucking gassed. I don't think I've ever sweat so much in my life except for doing these fucking supersets. And I sweat like a man. Supersetting, you can do supersets. You don't have to do supersets, but this is like your 12 to 15 and up range. So you can do anywhere from like, if you're getting up to 20 reps, you're going a little too fucking crazy. Like, yeah, it's gonna do something for you, but you're just like pre-exhausting yourself. Probably gonna sacrifice form. For me, I get bored. Like even just counting up to 8 to 10 reps, I get bored. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so fucking bored. And then I get focused on like the pain, and I'm like, oh my God, this fucking hurts. And I really try not to go above 15 reps. But I've been working more on my mind-muscle connection during this, and it's really helped because it's such a light weight that it's like harder to feel. With the lower weight, like you can feel it. You can feel it because it's a higher weight. Sorry, I think I said lower weight. It's a higher weight. And so like lower reps, but like you can feel it, especially I'm like doing my tricep pull downs because that's the one that I think about the most. With that lighter weight, I really have to focus on the mind muscle connection with it. And that's helped a little bit to keep me from being bored, because I'm trying to feel my muscles work, which is something more bodybuilders do. It's slow, concentrated, and have that mind muscle connection, and they feel it a little bit more. Whereas the power lifters, we really just try and move the fucking weight. You know what I'm saying? I have noticed the difference between I do that mind muscle connection. I have started to notice a difference. The pumps I get are insane. They don't last for forever. If you're in the lower rep range, you're not gonna have as much of a pump per se. Ooh, your pumps are fucking insane. But holy fucking shit, you guys. You can do like bare minimum and feel it, and you're gonna grow and change, and not a whole lot that you have to do. Just changing like one little thing, you're gonna feel the difference. The first week I did the supersets, I was sore because my body wasn't used to it. It was a different kind of pain. Your mind adapts to it. It gets used to it and doesn't feel the pain. You're still in pain, you're still tearing your muscle fibers when you lift and all. Your body just gets used to it, your brain adapts to it. That's why you don't feel sore or pain or something like that. But you also wanna be careful, because at the same time, if you do feel sore and like you've been in those, that means you went too hard. You did a little too much there. You overexerted yourself, and you gotta be careful with that as well. Moving on to rest periods within those rep ranges. When you're in the lower rep ranges, to have longer rest times, because again, you're exerting more energy. Powerlifters, we take naps. I don't really nap between my sets. I fucking love naps, but I don't nap between my sets. Sit down for a good like 4 or 5 minutes between each set, because you're fully exerting everything within your body to move this weight as many times as humanly possible. And so you have like that 4 to 5 minute window of like rest period. Get up, do it again. You're gonna take a longer amount of rest periods. The lower the reps are, the higher the weight is. You have your hypertrophy, which is again your middle ground. It's all middle ground within hypertrophy. You're taking about 2 minutes, give or take 2, maybe 3 minutes. You know, it's all middle ground, about 2-3 minutes. Typically probably closer to 2, maybe 2.5, no longer than 3. You don't wanna wait any longer than 3 minutes, because that's kind of even stretching it just a little bit. When you get into the superset, like bodybuilder phase, it doesn't necessarily have to be supersets either, okay? Let me specify that. It does not have to be supersets. You're literally resting like 30 seconds to a minute between each fucking set. You're going back to back. Now, I've been giving myself about 1.5 minutes because my endurance is not up there, because I've been on the other end of the spectrum. And those high rep, the higher rest periods. Don't ask me why I just got southern as fuck, okay? Don't ask me. I don't know where that fucking came from. That's been really rough for me, but most people will do like 30 seconds to a minute max. And I've been doing like 1.5 minutes to like 2, just because I'm like, especially on my compound ones. On the other ones, like if it's an upright road to like lateral raises, I usually just wait like a minute, maybe 1.5 minutes, and then I go again. There you have it. I hope that was more informational. I feel like I kind of rambled on and on and on. So I'm really sorry. I'm really, really sorry, you guys. I hope that helped you. Yeah, until next week, I will have my bodybuilding vlog for you guys, and you get to see me die. It is a leg day. Yeah, also watched my January habits video. I talked about reading some books. I did find Think and Grow Rich. I finished this book the other day. Not what I expected, but I am gonna do a full review on my TikTok. So if you're interested, I do have my TikTok linked right after this. Until next time, you guys, I will see you next week when I'm dying. But, oh God, excuse me.